What is up, everyone? My name is Jack Saffel, back again with another video, and today I'm here for my WWE TLC Tables, Ladders and Chairs 2016 review. And this was a great pay-per-view. Really enjoyed this show. It definitely had a lot of great action. It was very exciting. I thought the matches ranged from solid to kick-ass stuff, you know. But yeah, let's not fuck around, man. Let's get straight to the show. The pre-show match was a 10-man tag team match. It was American Alpha, the Hype Bros, and Apollo Crews versus the Ascension, the Vaudevillians, and Curt Hawkins. Babyface team won. Whoop-de-fucking-do. Then we get to the actual show. So the first match was for the SmackDown tag team titles. It was the Wyatt family, Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton, versus the Heath, Slater and Rhyno, the champions. It's a good match. I thought it was pretty damn good. So one thing I did mention is I like how Randy and some of the Wyatt family, they put themselves in front of the other people. They kind of, you know, save each other from, you know, getting hurt. Like anytime, you know, Rhyno goes to spear Bray, Randy runs into the way. And I think Luke Harper did something similar when in front of Randy. So that's pretty cool. And then in a really quick match, there was an RKO to Rhyno, and I think Randy got the pin, and they became the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. So I thought that was very well done, really cool. I'm very happy to see that Bray Wyatt finally has a tag team title or just any championship under his wing. He has done so much for so long. He's been for like 3 years now, and he's finally getting a WWE title opportunity. Well, SmackDown Tag Team title, but still a championship anyway. So congrats to Bray and Randy Orton for becoming the new champion. Then we had a backstage interview with Dean Ambrose, and he talked about how where's Ellsworth and how's he's doing after being hit with Styles Clash off of the steps. And he said, you know, Ellsworth, you know, he's keeping his chin, his spirit up and all that, and that for AJ Styles it's going to be hard times for him. So nice little nod to Dusty, which I thought was cool. And then they go to opposite sides of the arena, and AJ is getting interviewed, and you know, he talks about what Ambrose just said and just the match tonight. And he said, you know, Ambrose will get up just in time to see me hold that championship up high and all that stuff, and he'll prove that he's the champ that runs the camp, all that crap. So yeah, good interviews overall. Then we get to Nikki Bella versus Carmella in a no disqualification match, and you know, this was another alright match in my opinion. This was probably the weakest match of the night for me personally, but throughout the match, so Carmella grabbed the Singapore cane while Nikki was up in a tree of woe position, and she did the "you can't see me" in front of Nikki's face, which I thought was cool. Carmella had her in the code of silence and all that, and then Nikki got the cane and broke it up, which I thought was pretty nice. There was a cool kick off the barricade by Nikki, and then of course Nikki ends the match with one of the most devastating, I can't believe she even used it, one of the most devastating weapons in the history of WWE, and it honestly kind of made me sick to watch it. I had to look away. She used the fire extinguisher. I just can't, man. That, you know, the way, you know, all that stuff, and it's so cold and all that crap. Something that's meant to protect you is also meant to hurt you. But then she hit the Rack Attack 2.0 and won. So yeah, that was all good. You know, alright match. It wasn't anything spectacular. But after the match, Carmella gets up and grabs a microphone and talks about who's the person that attacked her at Survivor Series. And she mentions how everyone thinks it's her, but Carmella says it wasn't her. In fact, it was, are you ready? Big shocker, guys. This might take you a little bit by surprise, but it was Natalya. What? I'm shocked, man. I can't believe it. I'm lost for words. Natalya? What? You know, the woman who showed up, you know, when Nikki got hurt, the first person that saw her, and you know, she's the person that attacked her. Get the fuck out of here, man. Get out of here. Get out of town. But we had an interview with Daniel Bryan backstage, and the interviewer mentions, you know, about the Miz and Ziggler match later on, and how he doesn't like the Miz, and he says straight up, you know what? I don't like the Miz. And then Miz shows up, and he's like, congratulations, Daniel. I'm happy that you finally admitted that you don't like me. And you know what? I'm going to be so pleased to see you watching me when I grab that Intercontinental title in the ladder match. So that's what Miz goes on to. He faces Dolph Ziggler in an Intercontinental Championship ladder match, and it was a very, very good match in my opinion. They used the ladder in a lot of interesting ways. There were a couple of drop toe holds into the ladder. There was a DDT on there. Dolph was trapped in the corner between a ladder and all that. And he did a sick elbow drop when the ladder was wedged in between the first and second rope. He did a elbow drop off that, which was cool. Miz pushed Ziggler off the ladder a couple of times. And there was a few missile drop kicks. So Miz still taking the piss out of D-Bry and all that when Ziggler was sandwiched between the ladder and the corner. But Ziggler just threw the ladder right back in Miz's face, which was cool. And so Miz landed Ziggler's leg on the ladder and worked on it throughout the match, hit a figure four and all that shit. There was a skull-crushing finale on the ladder, which looked really brutal. And then Miz goes to grab the IC title, but then Ziggler pulls the ladder out of him and just knocks him off. A slingshot powerbomb from the ropes to the ladder, which was cool. And then they're both fighting on the top, and there's two ladders set up. Ziggler headbutts Miz off the ladder, but then he climbs up again and just kicks Ziggler right in the dick like 2 times. He falls off, and Miz retains the Intercontinental Championship. And then right after the match, he grabs a microphone and he dedicates the victory to Daniel Bryan. He thanks him for hating him and all of his haters and all that, for motivating him to win the match. And then he makes out with Maryse. And yeah, so pretty good match. I hope that's the last time we see Miz and Ziggler. I think it is. Miz will probably be in the Royal Rumble match, or have a match for the IC title, or do something in the future. But I thought it was a very good match. I liked how they used the ladder in a lot of different ways, and I thought the figure four they did and it looked really brutal. It looked like Ziggler really hurt his knee, so his selling has always been top notch. That's one thing I love about Ziggler. But Miz played a great heel tonight. The kick to the dick was, I thought, a great heel move, and so it keeps heat on him. And so the day 19 of the never-ending Intercontinental Championship run continues again. So as soon as that match happened, we get to a surprisingly great match between Kalisto, who was wearing trunks for the first time tonight, and Baron Corbin. And so Kalisto he for some reason grabbed the chair underneath the ring instead of all the chairs that are around him. There was a toupee suicida with the chair, which was cool. Corbin chucked him into the chairs once. And one thing I loved, on the outside, Baron grabbed the chair and kept hitting Kalisto, but every time he was about to hit him, Kalisto just moves out of the way, which I thought was cool. Throughout the match, there was a senton to Corbin through 6 chairs, which was cool. And another thing I really liked, he went for another toupee suicida, but then Baron Corbin uses that into a deep 6, which was awesome. There was a Hanukkah run off the barricade, which was sweet. And then there was a double knee moonsault onto the chair to Corbin. Then Corbin smashes a chair on Kalisto when he's flying in the midair, hits the end of days onto a big pile of chairs, and wins the match. So yeah, this was probably the best chairs match I've seen in probably the history of WWE. There hasn't been a lot of exciting chairs matches. You know, I love how they use the chair in so many innovative ways. I really like the spot where he just kept hitting the chairs and Kalisto kept ducking. Obviously the senton onto the 6 chairs was sick, and my god, that two-bay suicida into the end of days was just absolutely fantastic in my opinion. So yeah, great match by those two. Probably best chairs match you'll ever see in your life. Then we get an interview by Natalya, and the interview is talking about, why did you attack Nikki at Survivor Series? And he's like, I didn't attack her, Carmella did, it was a lie. Interviewer would be like, why would Carmella lie? And now he says, because she's a liar. So definitely the greatest interview I've ever heard in my entire life. Good job, Natalya. Then we get to the SmackDown Women's Championship match between Becky Lynch and Alexa Bliss. It was a tables match, and very, very good match. Really enjoyed it. And most of the match really consisted of them just fighting around the table, trying to put each other through, but not being able to, and resisting and all that. But Alexa hit the back of the chair and hit a DDT on her, which looked really brutal. There was a disarmer, and they were wedged in the leg of the table, which I thought was very innovative. There was a drop toe hold into the table, but it didn't break. And how it all ended, Alexa Bliss hit the powerbomb through the table, and she became the new SmackDown Women's Champion. which I am extremely happy about. Alexa, she has done incredible, ever since she's been up to the main roster. She's been one of the rare main roster call-ups that have actually helped a lot. Ever since I've been called up to the draft. Pretty much anyone that's got called up on SmackDown has done, very well for themselves. Alexa Bliss and Carmella, they've really shown themselves in the women's division. Pretty much everyone on SmackDown. I feel like SmackDown has a better overall women's division than Raw, because on SmackDown, they use pretty much everyone. They use the entire roster of women, and then on Raw it's just Sasha Banks and Charlotte, feuding for the 10,000th time. Not that I hate watching Charlotte and Sasha wrestle, but just a bit of variety for the women's division on Raw, in my opinion. But yeah, extremely happy for Alexa and Becky Lynch afterwards. She was a bit down after she got interviewed. She's like, you know what, this isn't the right time to interview me. I'm upset at myself. I'm upset I let down all my fans and all that. Don't worry, Becky, you should get that back soon enough. But yeah, congratulations to Alexa Bliss. Hope she does very well in the future, but I think she will. So then we get to the main event. It is AJ Styles versus Dean Ambrose. Tables, ladders, and chairs match for the WWE World title. And this match was friggin' awesome. I loved it so much. So, they fought in the crowd during the first little portion of this match. They put a trash can on AJ, which I thought was humorous. There was a drop kick to Ambrose in midair, which was cool. Dean dropped AJ's nuts in the barricade, ran a chair on him. There was a sky-high knee drop, which landed right on Dean's head, and it just got square on his head, which I thought looked great. There was a catapult by Dean Ambrose into the ladder, and then he chucked the ladder when AJ was on the outside. Styles hits a chair while Dean was setting up the table and all that. And then, Ambrose, he sets up all these chairs and does this weird, reverse suplex, flippy thing, whatever, like a reverse where he just flips out and he lands AJ, on the tables, which look fucking awesome. And then, oh boy, poor AJ Styles. When they had a look at his pants, he got a tear in his pants, but in probably the worst possible place to have a tear, right near his asshole. And then the ass where his ass was got cut up, so it was just, oh my god, poor AJ. That'd be a little bit embarrassing. There was a nice suplex into the table, which was set up in the corner by AJ, and I just couldn't take it seriously. He was, let's just say AJ was making an ass out of himself. So there was an elbow off the ladder by Dean Ambrose through the announce table, which was he was going to do that spot eventually. Ambrose then climbed up the ladder, and then AJ hit the phenomenal forearm. They were on the top. Both men get knocked down. There was a standing moonsault off the apron into a reverse DDT where he faces down, whatever. And then, probably in my favorite spot of the entire pay-per-view, Ambrose gets set up onto a table on the outside area, and AJ fucking Styles, which proves to me he's the superstar of the goddamn year, does a springboard 450 through the fucking table, and I'm just like, this guy's wrestler of the year. Best wrestler of the year. No one comes close to AJ this year. And then I was just wondering throughout the match, when's Ellsworth going to come out? When's he going to show up? And here he is, neck brace and everything. And I'm just like, oh, Jesus Christ. And, AJ goes after him, and he looks like he's going to do a Styles Clash off the steps again, even though he's got a friggin' neck brace, but then Dean stops it, hits a Dirty Deeds on the steel steps, and then Ambrose climbs the ladder, and he's just about to grab the title, and I'm just like, Ellsworth's going to push him off. You just fucking wait. Because if you remember 4 years ago, AJ pushed John Cena off the ladder during his match with Dolph Ziggler, and I'm like, he's going to do it again. And yep, he fucking did it. He pushed Ambrose off the ladder, put him through 2 tables, which, oh my god, I don't know why wrestlers go through with that spot. That just looks so crazy. And then AJ climbs up the ladder while, Ellsworth is happy and cheering, and he retains the title. So, awesome TLC match. I'm so happy that those two guys delivered. Of course, this match proved to me that AJ Styles is the best wrestler of the year, in any company, hands down. He's put on the best performances. He's had great moments throughout the year, and he's just dominated, man. And I wouldn't be surprised if his next match at the Royal Rumble is against The Undertaker, because you know what Undertaker said at Survivor Series, you know, he said he's back full-time, kinda, and that he's looking for his next opponent. I think it's going to be AJ, man. I think it's going to be AJ and Undertaker, and those two guys are going to tear the house down. I think it's going to be fantastic. So, yeah, great match. Go check it out. It's fantastic. And Ellsworth mentioned on Talking Smack he did it so he can have his match against AJ for the WWE World title, which, then again, why would you be concerned on who wins? You still get a world title shot. But anyway, that was a bit silly on Ellsworth's part. So heel turn for Ellsworth. I'm pretty sure it's a heel turn for him. But yeah, this was the TLC pay-per-view, done and dusted. My match in the night, hands down, Ambrose versus Styles TLC match, WWE World title. Just great overall. The spots in it were fantastic, and unfortunately not the tear in AJ's pants. That was a bit awkward, but that springboard 450 through the table, my god, one of my favourite spots of the year so far. How am I going to rate this show? I'm going to give it a solid 8 out of 10. Great stuff overall. Solid wrestling, you know, great matches, great main event. Just a good show. SmackDown's on a roll. They're the A show, baby, and they're just continuing, man. So, yeah, this is going to be it for my review. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like. Comment down below what you thought of the TLC pay-per-view, and you want to see more from me. Hit that subscribe button. You'll be glad you did. Twitter and Instagram's at JackermanLol31 if you want to check me out there. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm out in 3, 2, 1.